Alright, so this is going to be a different video. Um, I kind of said that I wanted to shiny farm Volcarona and was in the process of doing so. I probably spent about an hour and 30 minutes before I ran into one. I used the adrenaline orb to make it, you know, more likely to call for help, which it did. But after two Dragon Rages and a Larvesta no takedown, which means it takes recoil damage, its health was relatively low, and I felt comfortable using Dragon Breath on levels 41 through 44. But um, I just, you know, it has such a low encounter rate to begin with, and then the SOS battles can fail because just like Beldum, it knows takedown, so it can kill itself. It knows more moves than Beldum. All Beldum knew was takedown, but it's a similar encounter in that you have to find it first and then um, use an adrenaline orb and then just grind your way to a shiny. But which is what I was doing until after the second encounter, I uh, found a Volcarona. I threw Starmie. I think I threw Starmie out around the time that this Larvesta. I felt like it was already calling for help, but the help wasn't coming. So I threw Starmie out because its ability is Illuminate, and I thought I'd be more likely to see a shiny, even though Illuminate's ability is just you're more likely to see Pokemon in the wild at a higher rate if Starmie's presumably on your team, or if not the first person Pokemon in your party. But uh, I was just grinding the Larvesta down until I got this level 41 Volcarona. Wanted a shiny, but I was farming it and I got its health down low with Dragon Rage, which Gyarados knows, and that'll just do 40 damage. That's what that move does. Like, it just does 40 damage regardless of any kind of stat change, or it doesn't have any additional ability. So I used that to get Volcarona's health down to the red, and he was not calling for help at all. And I got pretty deep into the battle before I was like, well, it might be time to catch this thing. So I did. Larvesta doesn't actually evolve into Volcarona until like level 59. So this is one of those rare occasions. It'll happen in SOS battles in this game. That's how I got the hasty level Gyarados. I think it was like a hasty level 13 Gyarados that I felt that was maybe like what timid is to Charmander. If you find like a female Charmander that's timid, level it up to a Charizard and find a Dragonair or something else that'll mate with it, I feel like it'll be more prone to getting a shiny. That's how I got my shiny Charmander. Um, in this game, there's some things that you can do to help your odds, but um, the level 13 Gyarados, Magikarp doesn't evolve until Gyarados doesn't evolve into Gyarados, doesn't evolve, yeah, into Gyarados, excuse me, until around like level 20. So when I saw this thing, I didn't think too much about it, and I thought it would call for help, but it never did. And considering the fact it's level 41, I thought it would be kind of cool to catch it. It really took like 7 Ultra Balls, actually. I finally caught it. But you can see right there, that's its nature. It was actually holding silver powder when I caught it, which will an item to be held by Pokemon. It's a shiny silver powder that will boost the power of bug type moves. So glad to have this guy on the team. Um, I guess I can talk about what my plans are going forward. Like, I want to get a shiny Wimpod, but that Pokemon's a little different in that you kind of have to chase it down. I had a good farming method I found where if you get behind it by surfing and breaking through the rocks and kind of, you don't have to stand directly in front of the hole, but just kind of like get in his path. I would save before you do it, so if you mess up, you can just restart over and kind of graph out where his path is and where you need to be. So I had a pretty good, I got in a pretty good position, but then I got it to where he was like right in front of me, and I was soft resetting, and the method itself was just incredibly efficient. Um, so I probably got like over 400 resets on WinPod, but then I went back to Porygon, and that's when I got it a couple days ago, Shiny Porygon. So this was on the list as well, but since he came, like, the only thing I'll probably do from here is just farm for a Shiny WinPod and just do the battle tree, I guess. Like, not a lot of these Pokemon are holding items. I threw an item on, like, every Pokemon I had in Pokemon Violet. In most games, most runs I do in Pokemon, I give all my Pokemon items, but, you know, he just has never melt ice. None of my other Pokemon. This just boosts the power of ice type moves, like, you know, none of my other Pokemon have held items, so since I caught him with the silver powder, I'll probably keep it on him. But you know, between the shiny Wimpod and that'll probably be the last Pokemon I farm. And then I'll probably you know, head to the battle tree. They got a singles and a doubles, and the battle tree is incredibly fun. I've always had fun every time I've done it. The fun thing about it is, like, even with a good team, you can still lose. So it'll be interesting to see how this team, you know, after I get the shiny Wimpod, I'll probably have to do the Elite Four with this new team and, you know, level them up, and then I'll take it into the battle tree. Who knows, maybe if my online, you know, if I go into Festival Plaza here, that's where you can wonder trade and use the GTS, the global trading system, in battle other players online, casually or competitively. I think, you know, competitively. So that's really all I've got planned. You know, the shiny Wimpod, and then a singles and a doubles run on the battle tree with this team. But kind of interesting that he came, the shiny the level 41 Volcarona came today. It was holding the silver powder, so I'll probably end the video here. The other bad thing about Wimpod is, like, I think for whatever reason, if you're just genuinely trying to catch him or run into him by accident, I heard someone say this on YouTube, and from my experience, it's definitely true. Like, I think it resets after one day. So, like, if you try to catch him and you fail, like, you try to catch him and fail, you will, because its ability is like emergency exit. So as soon as his health gets below half, it'll just leave. So you have to kind of be pretty, like, ready to catch it if that's something that you want to do. Or if you just run into it by accident, you want to get it again. I think there is like a kind of one day. You have to wait until the time passes for a full day. I thought it had by today from when I was shiny farming Porygon. He hasn't shown up all day today, so it was kind of like that before I started shiny farming him, but I kept going in and out of the lush jungle, or the area to the right of Route 8, which is where you can find him, and he never showed up until he did. So, I mean, that might be what I have to do again. Goliospod is like, I don't want to close out the video. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that Pokemon. I've never had it on my team, but it's the final evolution of Wimpod, and I think it'll be a nice addition to this team. And you know, it's pretty hard to get to spawn. Excuse me. So, like, you know, that's basically all I've got planned. So I'll get this video uploaded and probably call it a day. So thanks.